So before we get started, this is a much bigger group than what I did last time. Last time I had about 4 of our sisters and they got lots of individual attention and we worked through about 5 sessions and they're back for more. They said they still want to keep practicing and learning. They're going to be some of the helpers that we do when we do breakouts, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I'm Phyllis Robinette. I am Colorado's Vice President for Membership. In the past biennium, I was part of the Ed Symposium Committee, in which we made history. I always like to throw that in. And for this biennium, I am the Ed Symposium Chair. So I'm continuing on with that role and changing it. It's going to take another morph of an image again for this next year. So I'm excited to do that and to follow through with that professional learning that we offer. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and share my screen for a couple things. Let me put a couple of you into some breakouts. Hold on just a second so we're ready for that when we're ready.
While she's doing that, as soon as she said, I'm going to record this meeting, I lost Zoom. I don't know why. But I'm back.
I see ya. I put you back in a room.
Thank
All
you.
right. I was just bragging on the Ed Symposium Making History, and you weren't there to cheer me on.
I will cheer you on. That was absolutely wonderful. You're in the history books and will be known for a long, long time.
That's right. All right. So let's go over some norms first of all. So I want to congratulate you for taking this challenge. I was sharing this with Molly just the other day. We had another meeting and I was just bragging on how many of you signed up to do this. And so many of you probably feel a little arm twisted on this because so many of your sisters and organizations are moving towards using the Google platform. But as you know, and I know, so many adults, and some of them are our sisters, would just say, forget it. I'm just going to fake my way through this meeting. I don't want to learn this. It's too much. And I am so proud of you for taking this challenge and being willing to do it. I shared with a couple of you when we first got on that we are starting at the pre-emerging level. That is before beginner. We're going to start at the basics. So as we go over these norms, because we are a big group, I'm going to ask that you guys go ahead and mute so we don't get any backfeed or we don't get any dogs barking. Hopefully mine will behave. I can't guarantee that. So if you would do that. And if you need to talk, you'll just unmute. Our word of the day is going to be patience. And the reason is because we're starting at that pre-emerging level. We need to be patient with our sisters that they may not be at the same place that I am, and that we don't want to blow them in the smokes, because I bet many of you have gone to some Google presentations and they buzz through, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, and you're still like at the first thing going, I don't even know what they just said on that first thing, and now she's 20 things down the way. So my style with this is really at that beginning level, just to get you comfortable with what you're going to do in your role with ADK and the tools that you're going to mostly use with ADK getting started. And last time it took us 5 sessions to do that, 5 90-minute sessions to get through what we felt was the most important things. My sisters were bringing a couple agenda items that I had not included and said, can you go over this too? And so we built those in. So I suspect it's going to take us at least 5. It's a bigger group. I'm hoping we move in the same pacing once we get used to this, but we'll just play it by ear. If you ever want to drop out and say, I've had enough, you're not going to hurt my feelings. If you can't miss, if you can't attend, because I'm going to go kind of with the majority because it is a big group of who mostly can attend those meetings and sessions. If you miss, I will always be recording. I will send the recordings to everyone so that you can go back and view again. Jeannie and Mary Ann like to do that a lot. They refer to those videos. And this time I'm letting you know, because it's a big group, I made cheat sheets of what we're going over today, and I will be sharing those at the end with you. So trust yourself in the process that you already have the skills, because you could get on Zoom. And if you can get on Zoom, I know that you can make Google work for you. We'll just go through the steps slowly. And if you get stuck with something, we're going to revisit it, and you're going to get help from others from the group by reaching out to them and saying, I'm lost. I know she went over it. I'm looking at the cheat sheet. I'm still lost. What do I do first? And you got lots of support in this group. Know that if you practice in between our sessions, because I'm going to kind of give you homework, if you do that, that will help you not to forget what we've gone over in this session. And as you work with international and the different work that you do with ADK, that will also start to make sense of what you're doing with them, because you're practicing kind of what we've learned in our session. I'm going to use I'm going to model first, and then I'm going to call on a very brave volunteer to do it. And when I call in the volunteer, I really want someone at that pre-emerging level. If you are familiar with Google, or you know how to do this and you're comfortable, it will go too fast for that pre-emerging. So I really want someone who's like, I'm kind of lost. Can you work me through this? And I'm going to have you share your screen, and we're going to watch you do it. And then we'll go into breakout rooms in which everyone's going to practice what we've learned today. If you have questions, I don't mind you interrupting and say, Phyllis, what is that you're doing? We'll just go with the flow. And remember, I said this in the email, you guys smile pretty because we're on camera today. Haha. All right, so I did add an agenda item. It's number 0 from the agenda I pushed for you. It's called 0. We're going to learn how to toggle from Zoom to your browser, because you got to be able to do that to practice today. So that's going to be our first thing that we're going to talk about today, is how to toggle. So I'm going to, let me see, put us back here, stop sharing. Then I'm going to share something else. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is toggle. Toggle means I have one thing open on my desktop, my laptop, my tablet, but I need to access something else. I'm sitting in an international meeting, and Molly says, everybody get your bylaws document. It's in the shared drive, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to show you how to have multiple things open at the same time while you're in Zoom. Are you ready? Okay. And some of you might even know, you know how to do this. You just didn't know it was called toggle. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is back to the slides that I showed you about our agenda and what we're going to do. If you follow my cursor, see it? I'm going way up at the top. And you see these little things called tabs. Tabs are like file folders. And I can switch. Oh, here's my AOL. Now everybody go ahead and laugh. Betty Jo and I still love AOL email. Everybody laugh. Ha, 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 ha. I'm on a mission now, like how long can I keep my AOL running? But I am versed. I can go from AOL to my Gmail. I can toggle both platforms, and I check both emails. I don't know if you guys have more than one email. I used to have 3 when I had school, and then other organizations gave me another. So sometimes I was checking 4 and 5 emails, and that's crazy. You could blend them, but I still have my AOL. So that's up just in case someone needs me. And then you see right here in this is my Google Drive. We're going to learn more about that on session 2. This was the norms we just talked about. Oh, what is this? Let's look here. So let's go and take a look at how you all answered so that you'll understand what I'm talking about when I said we're going to start at the pre-emerging. So I told you I was here. I was on the agenda, and now I'm going to switch to something else by moving over to that tab, and I just clicked it. Now, Marianne Gerds, wherever she is, she's going to laugh because I want to tease her because I tease her every session. She is like, clean it out, girl. When I'm done with this, she likes to close that X all the time and be done with it. Or she goes over here to this red one and she's always closing stuff out. Well, during our sessions, I need you to keep things open so that you can easily go back to them and you don't have to relaunch everything all the time. That takes too much time. So back to your summaries. Here's the people who answered. Most of you got it done. And if you can see, can I toggle between live Zoom and my browser? So because I'm sharing my screen, Zoom is so smart, it automatically, you've probably done this if you've been a presenter on Zoom, it automatically shrinks the grid with all of your beautiful faces into either one box or a line, or if I hit the grid, I can make you bigger and cover up some of the screen that I'm seeing. But I can still see all of you. I can go down on my Zoom screen and I still see some of you are really paying attention and Betty Jo's working on something. So I can still see you even though I'm sharing my screen. For me to get my Zoom back when I'm sharing my screen, I can just stop sharing, or I can change the view from either one person to a line of people to a grid and make that bigger. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how do I find Zoom if I am working and practicing today. So I'm going to see how low you can see me. I'm going to go down to my taskbar. Can you guys see my taskbar, or did my cursor disappear? Someone needs to unmute and tell me.
Disappear.
Disappeared.
It disappeared, right. I knew you were going to say that. I just want to make sure you were with me. So here's my cursor again. But when my cursor disappears, I'm at the bottom called the taskbar. Jeannie, I don't know if she brought her same device. Jeannie's having trouble with her taskbar. So if you don't see a taskbar down there, and a taskbar is a bar, it's a line, and it has different programs that you've pinned to it that you tend to use a lot. So down on my taskbar, I have my drive to my computer drive. I also have my Gmail. I have my Chrome browser. I have Word, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And then I see my little Zoom icon. My Zoom icon is that blue square with a little video in it. It's like the Zoom logo. That's how I toggle. So I'm looking, so remember I'm up here. I come back down here and I'm going to go by clicking that Zoom icon. It's going to bring that camera back up for me so that I can go back to Zoom. When I need to go back to my document that I'm practicing with, I'm just going to go back down here and I'm going to hit my Chrome wheel, which is that rainbow circle. That rainbow circle is your Chrome browser. So that's how you can toggle in two different programs. Up here is how to toggle with things that are opened up here in your folders. Those are all toggling. All right, let's go down and see some more answers. Most of you are able to access your Chrome browser. The people who said no, I hope that you found it before our meeting because I wanted you to have it opened up and hopefully it's in the background. And now you know how to toggle between Zoom and getting to that browser because we just talked about it. Here's the people and their feelings about their knowledge about Google Docs. So we have a whole range here. Google Drive will be session 2. Google Forms will be either session 3 or 4 or maybe 5, depending on our pacing. Google Calendars probably towards the end of our time together and how to work that. And then here's everybody's little comments that they gave me some insights. So I wanted to share that with you so that you understand how slow we have to kind of go today. We're going to really be patient with our sisters. So if, let's talk a little bit about why do we use Google? How did it come about? Why are so many people using it? Why do they use it in schools? And some of you already know this. This is my version of this. So back when I was teaching second graders, and we had this big project called Famous Americans, right? Kids had to do their research, they had to write a report, they had to type it up, they had to present with a display board, the whole bit. It was very challenging to get 8-year-olds to learn exactly how to save. Back in the day, they used to have to save to disk. Remember those? Then we saved to the jump drives. Then we taught them, okay, well, let's try a little bit. Maybe we could have folders on all of the laptops or devices we have in our classroom. And we started trying to do that and all sorts of things. Saving was a huge problem for 8-year-olds. Huge. Because if you didn't click the right thing, it went somewhere and you couldn't find it, or they saved it to that individual device and you had to find the device for the right kid because they couldn't find their report, and it was just crazy. So Google Apps for Classroom for Education, GAFE, G-A-F-E, started, I want to say, at really gangbusters, probably 10 to 12 years ago. Now, my daughter, who's a millennial, she grew up in the Google platform pretty much upper elementary through now. So millennials and Gen Zs, because they're younger than millennials now, they are used to using platforms like Google, which are to the cloud. Now, the difference between putting something in the cloud versus putting it on a jump drive, your own individual computer, blah, 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 is when it's in the cloud, I and others have access to what we're looking at. Whatever I'm doing, they can see it no matter where they are. They don't have to go to that certain device. You don't have to go home to check your email. You don't have to go home to check the document that Judy or Molly just pushed to you. You can pull it up wherever you're at. You can log into your Google account and it's going to be there for you no matter where you are. So I have Google on my phone. So anytime someone's emailing me or sending me something or has a question on something during Ed Symposium, most of the time I'm looking it up down here on my phone because I could pull up the document and I could text back to Judy and say, yep, Judy, it's in there. Go see blah, blah, blah. I didn't have to go upstairs back to my office, open up everything, launch everything. I had it instantly, no matter where I was. So in the classroom, you can imagine if things are in the clouds, kids don't have to have the same device all the time. And because they logged in with their credentials, everything automatically gets saved all the time. I never have to say file save, file save, file save as, never. It's just automatically in my account. Now, sometimes it gets lost and people have to call other people like Judy and say, Judy, I don't know where all this stuff is. Can you help me find it? Thanks for that story, Rachel. We're going to learn how to find it later. Today, we're just going to learn how to create it. Okay. Next session is how to find it and how to file it. So for my kids, it was a miracle because not only could they automatically be saving and not lose their stuff all the time and have to start over. I can't find it. Well, start over. It was automatically saving. I could also go in and view it at the same time. And I could tell little Joey in the corner, knock it off, Joey. Stop typing T, and get back to typing your real stuff. So teachers can share documents and see things going on. And you'll know that you have seen now in meetings and such, multiple people can be on the same document or the same Google platform looking at the same thing and interacting at the same time because everything's up in the cloud. And so people have used the cloud now to save them lots of time and to create much more efficiency in the business world, the personal world, and with schools. Now, you've heard a little bit of woochie coochie out there about Google's not safe. And if you're in my side of the country, you hear a lot about that because they're worried about school safety and technology. And it's not that I'm not. Google is actually fairly safe, but it is open to everybody. So everything's, how you're always told once you create something electronically, it's always out there. It is always out there. It's part of the Google platform. But you've seen businesses now kind of go to their own servers and their own different platforms. So things like OneNote and OneDrive is just a different platform by Microsoft so that you could still live in the cloud kind of things. There's all sorts of new cloud platforms that are copying this kind of idea that Google came up with, that you can live in the cloud kind of an idea. So that's why Google, that's why it's so easy for our organization to have Google, because we can quickly access it on multiple devices. We can quickly be in the same device at the same time. When someone's drafting and you're working with someone, they can see in live. You don't have to be on a Zoom to do that. If you're in the car, you can't really get on Zoom, but you could still be talking to someone on the phone. You could still be looking at the same document at the same time. So it just is a time saver. Plus, it's kind of cool. So that's Google. Now, here's my other thoughts on this. I still live in Microsoft Word. I still do stuff in PowerPoint. I like it better. We're going to talk more about that later. There's reasons why I still use that platform, because now they talk to each other a little bit better. We're going to talk about that when we get to it. But I still live in both lanes. Me, the AOL girl. So I'm totally sold on Google. I live in the Google land, but I also live in the old stuff too. I have stuff I created years ago that I can move to the new platform in Google and clean it up, and it still works for me. So if you are, I live in the Word Microsoft lane, the Office suite lane, you can still do Google and still have them talk to each other, especially you with lots of experiences of things you've created over the years. It will work. Okay. All right. Next on the thing is talking about the waffle. So I'm going to share my screen again. And I'm going to go to a new tab. Who can unmute and tell me, Phyllis, how to get a new tab? Someone who is pre-emerging. I taught you this already when we talked about toggling. Sorry about that. Uh-oh, who's gonna be brave?
I will, I guess.
Okay, Diane Best, you're on. How am I gonna?
Although you have to go down to your, you go down to your menu bar, which I can't see.
My taskbar?
Yeah.
That's 4 different platforms.
Oh,
Tabs, Diane, are up here at the top. And do you see this little plus sign here? Does everyone see that plus sign? That's a key thing to tuck away. So if you're taking notes, write down plus sign always opens something new or adds something. That is a big Google specific kind of thing. So I want a new tab, and a new tab just opens it up. This is just my normal Google platform. I fancied it up with little silly pictures and stuff. Yours may not look that way, but I've done some things to my profile so that it looks that way. I can search things here just like you search for things, and I can search things up here just like you can. There's 2 places to search. It is a habit of mine. You don't have to. I could have done what I'm going to do on this tab that I was on before, but I just, in my mind, like to start fresh. So the Google Waffle is the little square, the little grid that's got dots. There's one over here. And there's a colorful one up on the upper left. You see where I'm hovering with my cursor? Both of those are the same thing. So I use them both. I tend to use this one first because my cursor is usually in my right hand and I tend to have my cursor in the right side. And when you click the Google Waffle, this is all of the Google applications that Google creates. Kind of. What you'll find when you click your Google Waffle is you're going to see the ones that you primarily use. We're going to go to Google Docs. That's the application we're going to talk about today. If I found out that Google Docs was not in there, there it is. But if it wasn't, and I wanted to find it, I can click more. And there'll be more applications because Google has made tons and tons of applications. They have applications where you can take your photograph and make it look like someone in history, or take your photograph and look like a famous painting. There's, just like on your phone has tons of apps, Google has tons of applications that you can do all sorts of things. So, but today we're going to scroll down and I'm going to find Docs. You're going to probably see Docs in your Waffle, even if you've never used it, because Google Docs is one of the most used applications. So most Google Waffles default with a Google Doc. So a Google Doc is just like opening up Word and going File New. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to start a new document by clicking that application, and now it launched. And now you see in this application that I can start with a blank. This would be just like File New. It's got nothing on it. It's a blank piece of paper. Or just like in Word, you'll see, oh, look, all these little templates. And I could go looking for more if I had a brochure I wanted to make, or if I'm making a sign up or something. They're going to have templates just like Word does. So you can find those and support yourself in the Google platform. But for today, we're going to practice starting with a blank piece of paper. And remember that I push that plus sign because that means start something new. Let me show you again. I'm going to push the plus sign because remember that's Google Talk. I want something new. I want to add something. I'm going to start by pushing the plus sign. Everybody write this down. The first thing you do is name your document. To name it, I took my cursor up to the upper left into this little box. And do you see where it says Untitled Document? And I'm going to give it a title, and I'm going to call this Google Training September. That's what I'm going to name it. You can name it something, Google Training something, whatever you want, okay? And the reason I try to do this, I'm not always good at it. Sometimes I'm in the middle of something, I'm like, I better name this, because the reason why you name it right away is because remember I said things are being saved automatically all the time. If I did not save this under a name, it would be really challenging for me to find in my Google Cloud. The Google Cloud is called My Drive, Google Drive, My Drive. That's where I could find it later. So if by chance we're in the middle of this and you are like Mary Ann and you close that X out, and you shouldn't have because now you need your document, you're going to go back to your drive. Your drive can be found in the Waffle and find it there. If you get really stuck, you're going to ask your group to help you find it. If they can't find it, then guess what? Just start a new one. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. In Google, you will see pretty much the same things that you can do, if you look at my cursor, that you can do in Word. I can change colors. I can do bolding. I can change the size. I can find my favorite font. It's this one. And I can type just like that. So I'm going to type now, just like you're going to do when you get up a Google Doc. Don't do it now. You're watching me. All right. I can highlight it and make it bold. I could change the size, all those things that you can do in Word, you can do in Google Docs. Okay. After you type, I want you to try this now. We're going to add a graphic. It could be clip art, it could be a photograph, it could be something from the web. To do that, after you type one sentence, I want you to go to insert and click it. After you click insert, you're going to just move your cursor down to that first one because I said put in a picture. And if I go over to the right, I see that there is an arrow to the right. And now I got to figure out where am I getting my graphic, my photo, or whatever I'm going to use. So in Word, they only give you two choices, from your computer or from your web. Because I live in the cloud, I could find things in my drive. You could practice that later. I wouldn't recommend that today. I could do it from Google Photos. Google Photos, remember my little phone and how I have Google on it? So all of my photos go to the cloud. I have an Android. I don't have an iPhone. So they go to Google Photos. If you have an iPhone, where do they go? Because they go to a different cloud. Nancy, unmute.
iCloud.
Are you talking to me?
We go to the iCloud.
Nancy Harrison.
Oh, okay.
iCloud.
They go to the iCloud because that's the cloud for Apple products, is the iCloud. This is Google Photos. So if I wanted to find some photos, I could do that. I could put in websites, or I could smile pretty and take a picture. I'm going to do something from my computer because lots of you have created all sorts of things, and Betty Jo has her clip art folder that she's used for years. She can find that favorite clip art that she has that's perfect for the 80K logo or anything. And let's see, which one do I want to use? Let's go to my desktop. I got a cute one. Here's a picture I took in the virtual booth from the convention. Hopefully it's not too silly. Oh, it's a little silly. All right. So for that one, just like in Word, I can click it and I can resize it by doing that bottom right corner. I'm just dragging it little. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing in a minute. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to your waffle. You're going to launch a doc. You're going to name it, type something, insert a picture, graphic, clip art, something. I need someone who is pre-emerging, and we're going to talk you through. And when I say we, it's going to be one of you helping her do this. Who is pre-emerging, very beginner, who wants to try to do this? Because you're going to share your screen. We're going to talk you through it. Uh-oh, someone just left. Who was that? All right, Diane Best, you're on again.
Yeah, I mean,
Diane, do you know how to share your screen?
no.
Okay, so down in, if you take your cursor.
Oh, it's down there, that little green box, right?
Click it.
Okay.
Now, when you click it, you're going to see some squares. Those squares are going to be what's kind of open on your desktop. Can you click the square that would be your Google Chrome browser?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that one I opened up before I
Yep,
came on.
that's the one we want. Click that
Okay.
and then hit share screen.
Show over here. This-
Uh-huh.
Share. Oh, how about that? I did it.
Good job. All right. So we're looking at her Google. Are you logged in?
I thought I clicked on that Google Chrome when I first turned it on,
All
before I
right, well,
went to the Zoom.
let's just see if you're logged in. So go to your waffle. Oh, I'm not supposed to help. What's she supposed to
know.
do first?
Awful.
Where's
Go
my
to the
waffle?
waffle.
I don't see my waffle.
See those 9 little squares?
Oh,
on the
there, it was off the
side?
screen. Yeah, it was off the screen. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna go down to documents,
Yep, Google Docs.
docs, okay. Okay. Says
Just
take a
close-
tour.
No, we don't have time for that. Just close the
Okay.
box.
Go to the box, close this off.
Yep,
Okay,
close
there we
it.
go. Oh, there we go, my blank page.
Yep.
Okay.
What is she supposed to do first, anyone?
Name it. Oh,
Name it.
Damn it.
Good job,
Okay.
Betty Jo.
Untitled. Okay, here we go.
sorry.
Okay,
Now you're, can you put Google somewhere in that title so that when we have to go find it later, we'll remember that it had something to do with Google?
okay.
For everybody, if you at least put Google somewhere in it, because that'll help us find it later if it gets lost. All right,
Okay.
now we want her to type something.
Okay, first I want to change the font. I don't like, 11 is too small for me. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
All right. Okay,
Okay. And now we want you to insert a
Insert.
picture or graphic or clip art.
okay, insert. Image.
Mhm. Now, do you have something on your computer or do you want to search the web?
I don't know. I think I have some on my computer, but I'm not sure.
Up to
My
you.
husband has all this stuff on here and I'm not sure what it is.
Up to you. You can search the web. We'll talk you through it.
Upload,
Are you-
would I upload it from my computer then if I have something?
Yeah, if you do you know where it is?
No,
All right, let's search the web just to be different.
okay, search the web.
All right, do you see over in the right that you popped up a little mini search window up at the top? You have a blinking cursor. It says
okay,
search for
right.
images.
So I can
So
just
now
type in
what do you
I
wanna-
look-
Yeah, just type something that you want to. There
You know
you go.
me, here we go.
Oh,
So drawings or it doesn't matter, just drawings, how's that? Oh, there we go. Oh, cool.
click the one you like.
Those are pretty. Oh, let's do that one. So I clicked on that one, and I drag it.
And then on the bottom, it'll say in a blue box, insert.
Blue box. At the bottom of this whole thing?
No, if you just move your mouse down towards the bottom of your screen,
You guys are at the bottom of my screen.
you probably got to move us. You probably don't see it then. All right, so you're going to click on that bar towards the top where you see one square, about 3 squares and a grid looking thing, and drag it somewhere else. Drag it up or to the left.
Oh. I'm supposed to drag, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm dragging. I see, I got my cursor on my picture. Is it supposed to be in there?
No, go to the top. Who's the top person? You?
Yes.
Right above you.
What's above me? I'm sorry, I
Go,
don't know.
go to the left of you if you're the
Okay.
first person. Now, do you see that there's a little bar with little white
Oh,
squares or lines?
it says
grab-
hide thumbnail and then it says show small active speaker.
Yeah, do that one. That'll get it out of the way.
Oh, that shows you. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm
All
what
right.
am I-
Now you should
Oh,
see
gotcha.
there you go.
blue thing and it says insert.
Yep. Hit the insert. The word hit right on the word insert. There you go.
Oh.
Click it.
Okay.
And here it comes.
Oh, cool. And then you can
Yeah.
make it smaller or larger,
Yeah,
whatever.
just click it. Click on the picture. now you have the dots. And you can shrink it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's too much, but that looks good. At least it all got together.
All right. If you will stop sharing.
Stop sharing. Where's my
So
stop
go
sharing?
down to probably the, if you go either to the top of your your screen or to the bottom, you'll see a bar appear and it'll have a red sign that says stop share.
No, I don't see anything like that. There's a blue box up on the right-hand corner
Okay,
that says share.
I'll do it for you.
Okay, I don't know where I'm looking.
All right, now I'm going to stop share.
There we go.
All right, are you ready?
Oh.
So I have pre-built your breakout rooms. In your breakout rooms, you have my assessment of your abilities. You're going to have someone who's pre-emerging, someone who I'm calling intermediate, and someone, a few advanced Google experts. And so I'm hoping that you have help in your room that you go to. I'm going to toggle in and out and just make sure that you all are doing it. But your task is to go to your Google Waffle, launch Google Docs, start a new doc, title it, put something in it with your typing, and add a graphic or a photo. And you're going to do that. And if you're in a breakout room and someone is stuck, that person should share their screen like we did, and you talk them through it. Everybody understand what you're doing? If not, unmute and ask a question. All right, Diane's going to unmute.
How do I get rid of what I did already?
You're not going to get rid of it. You did it. You're going to be a help to everybody else now. Okay.
Okay.
And
Phyllis, Ann Ansley has a question. Ann, you're muted.
Okay, there I am. I did not access the Zoom link through the Chrome browser. Should I exit and then come back?
oh, remember when we first talked about you're going to toggle. So to get into your Chrome browser, you're going to toggle by minimizing your
Okay.
Zoom screen. It'll still be there. It'll be down at your taskbar. And then you're going to go to your document. And the only time you need to bring that Zoom screen back up is if you're going to share your screen so that you can see those buttons. But all of
Okay.
you will still be on camera.
Okay.
You just won't be seeing everybody because you'll be working on your document. Rachel?
Okay. Thank you.
Can't see my top menu to minimize or the bottom menu.
Okay, so go up to the top and if you go into the upper right corner, you should see something that says exit full screen.
Just says view.
Yeah. Above that, do you have a white bar that has a dash and then a square within a square?
No.
On mine, if you look at click on the word view, it'll drop a box down and it says full screen, or it says exit full screen.
Okay.
Thank you, Laura.
Try that.
Yes.
Okay, now do you have the white bar at the top to minimize?
Yes.
Okay. No more questions? All right, everybody help each other. I'm going to send you to the breakouts. Mary, let me get you back into your room. There you go.